Hey, what's going on? Felipe D'Andrade here, 2012 northbound thru hiker, and I wanted to make a video for you guys watching, something that I didn't find too often when I was researching for my thru hike, and that is a post Appalachian Trail thru hike gear guide video. Go! Alright, I'm gonna start with my favorite and probably the most important piece of equipment is the book bag. I carried a Gregory Z55 small book bag, and it was awesome. Gregory as a company itself is badass because the best customer service you can find, and their packs are incredible. They hold up really well, a little heavier maybe than some of the other ones that you'll find out there, and by heavier I mean like 3 to 6 ounces heavier, but the comfort is totally worth it. Distributes the weight great and super durable, and like I said, customer service is unrivaled with Gregory. My second favorite piece of equipment, and a big choice, I think lately, a big game-breaking decision, whether to go hammock or tent. And I started off with a tent, and it was a horrible decision. Day 3, I got swamped with rain and traded that thing in and got myself a hammock, because when I woke up in the morning, the only people that were dry from the 11 straight hours of rain that we got were people in hammocks. So that was a very easy decision for me to trade. And I rolled the whole time with a Hennessy Backpacker Light. As you can see, it's a little elongated, kind of snake themed or awesome mustache themed, but it packs up really light, fits in the pack really easily, and then I'm pretty anal about being dry, especially since when you get wet, you may not have a chance to get dry for another 5 or 6 days after that. So I went with the extra large rain cover, and it worked out awesome because I would throw my stuff underneath the hammock, and then I'd put this thing up, and it kept me and my gear dry. The next important thing is a sleeping bag. I ultimately landed on the decision of getting a Marmot Angel, that's right, Angel women's sleeping bag, a 25-degree down. And I got the women's one because when I was reading the description, it was like more warmth in the care area. I've got some care areas. I want some warmth there. So that's ultimately the route that I ended up going, and I'm glad that I did. It's down, so it's a little, it doesn't compact as nicely as maybe the synthetic ones, but I'm sure glad I had it on cold nights. It was a game breaker. And then in the summertime, I sent that thing home, and I just stuck with this 40-degree, look how small this thing is. It's about like 1 pound and 2 ounces. And what I matched with my hammock and my sleeping pad was a Z-Lite pad. It's one of those foam cell, like egg cart looking things. It wasn't the best. You know, I probably could have went with something like a Neolite or like an air pad, but those are a lot more expensive. So the 35 bucks that I spent on the Z-Lite, you know, worked out for me. I carried it the whole way. And in Virginia, I picked up this car windshield reflector at a hiker box and carried it the whole way, and you know, doubling up in those things, it gave me a little extra padding at night and a little more warmth, so it worked out just fine. Clothing situation, I did not honestly make the best decision with clothes because I wanted to go cheap. You know, I got some Walmart shirts and some synthetic stuff, and whenever I got wet, I stayed wet, and then it smelled like shit. So if you guys have the resources, if you have the time, I would definitely invest in something like merino wool, which is gonna be 100% merino wool, something like Icebreaker or Smart Wool, and it's not just regular wool. It breathes a lot easier and it doesn't smell. You can wear this stuff for like 2 weeks and it won't smell. Like I didn't have this on the trail with me. I use it to work out in right now, and I love this stuff. And then the shorts, I just got these super small women's running shorts from Walmart. I picked them up in Virginia. I say Virginia, but Virginia is like 550 miles long. And then I had a neck gaiter, which was really nice because I could pull it over my face, just wear it on my neck and pull it over my face on like windy days. Wear it on top of my head as like a double headgear, like when it was super cold. And a buff. Now, this bad boy is an AT buff, but I didn't get it until after the trail. But I would definitely get something like that if you have, I don't know, ovaries or long hair. And then one of my favorite pieces of equipment, wears this Patagonia jacket that I got for more than half off at the Harper's Ferry sale in Trail Days. So this Patagonia jacket's really nice because it folds up within itself. It's down and super lightweight, less than a pound. So it worked out great for me. So that's clothes. For my pot, I carried a Coleman 24-ounce pot that I got from Walmart for like 20 bucks. Maybe not the lightest or, you know, the best, but 20 bucks and it worked out the whole time, so whatever, I'm not mad at it. So for a stove, I made this beer can stove. Started out with a cat food can. It got stepped on a couple of times. Want to make something a little bit sturdier. So I rocked one of these guys, and I think it was one of the greatest decisions was to carry a stove that required heat. Heat, H-E-E-T, in the yellow bottle, not the red. Or you can use denatured alcohol. I preferred heat. It burned a lot cleaner, burned a lot hotter. Boiled water boiled water quicker. Actually, I don't know that it burns cleaner. I'm sure all that shit's bad for you, but yeah. And I think that it's a lot easier to go with one of these guys or a cat food can stove than it is to go with a cook stove like Jetboil or MSR Pocket Rocket. And the reason is those canisters, they can be difficult to find, they're more expensive, and when you use them, you gotta carry that canister, you know, until you can throw it away in town. But with the heat or the denatured alcohol, you can carry a lot more of it, it's easier to get, and it's way cheaper. I think a bottle of heat is like $2 as opposed to like the $7 or $8 that a canister is. And it lasts longer. So this would be my recommendation. And then for my spoon, I had this Snow Peak titanium spoon spork combo. This thing's badass. It's super durable. I carried a few other ones out there and they broke on me. This thing, no matter what happened to it, it's still kicking. So Snow Peak titanium spork, that's the way I would go with it. And just for my stove, I made like a little makeshift wind protector. Didn't cost anything, just got a hole puncher and punched some holes in some aluminum and it worked out. So that's the way I would go. You can do a lot of makeshift stuff. If you have the time and the energy to do it, you know, you'll save some money and it's pretty cool side projects. Let's see what else. And I still have food in here from the trail. This shit's like almost 4 months old. But I've been meaning to eat it. I'm not gonna waste it. Actually, I will never eat this. Like, as soon as you get done with your thru hike, you're never gonna wanna look at pasta sides or tuna or peanut butter again. For my luxury items, I carried a Kindle, which is a game breaker. Everybody, you know, says that by the time you're done hiking, you're not gonna wanna read. You're just gonna be over, you're gonna wanna pass out, but you know, that's, in my case, that wasn't true. I think I finished like 16 books on my thru hike, and this thing is super lightweight. It's about 8 ounces. Kindle Touch lasts like 2 months on a charge. It was really nice to have out there. Unless if you're adamant about it, or you want to be a wildlife photographer or videographer, or you're pretty serious about making a documentary, then yeah, get yourself like a GoPro, get yourself a water resistant point and shoot, and that's all you need. But take as many pictures as you can, because the AT, the people, the experience is unlike anything else, and you're gonna want to document it. Travel, document, experience. That's, you know, I'll live my life by those 3 methods, and it's gonna be a pretty fulfilling one. Oh, water, very important. My method for water was, I got a Sawyer filter. This thing is about 5 ounces, weighs next to nothing, super small, and it worked out great. I didn't like the bags that came with it. They were a little shoddy, they broke within a month, so I just replaced it with a few platypus bags, which are a lot more durable, and I just filled up the water. You just screw this guy on, and you push it right through, and the water comes out completely clean. I would maybe have 2 of those platypus bags just for, you know, some durability with that. And then I also carried a Nalgene, which was nice just because, you know, you can bang that thing around and it's not gonna break. But yeah, plastic bottles work just fine. Headlamp, I carried a Princeton Tech 70 lumen headlamp, which was really nice. It had a few different functions on it. I would recommend something at least 70 or 80 lumen, because you're going to run into situations where you're gonna night hike, and it is not fun unless if you have something strong enough. Oh, I don't have it with me, but Dr. Bonner's soap. Biggest game breaker on the AT. That stuff is insect repellent, it smells awesome, you can clean your dishes with it, and it'll last forever. And for a towel, I had this Sea Summit medium, or no, this is a small size microfiber towel, and it's worked really, really well. And then I still have my Montreal Masochist, which I went through 3 pairs of these. Everybody that I talked to, you know, was like, oh, your bag is running heavy, like you're gonna be about 50 to 55 pounds, like, and you're wearing tennis shoes, you're gonna go through like 6 pairs. They told me they went through 6 pairs of tennis shoes, and yeah, 3 pairs, you know, and my last pair I got in Vermont, so really like 2.5 pairs. So the book that I carried, the gear guide, was AWOL's AT Guide 2012. Really easy, lays everything out for you. It's like 95% correct, and people get, you know, angry when they look at elevation charts and, you know, it doesn't look like a climb, but it's a line on a piece of paper compared to a mountain. For anybody that wants to do the trail, you know, it's a life-changing experience. Other than graduating from the University of Florida, it's the greatest thing I've ever done, the best decision I've ever made. You'll meet people like none other, you'll have experiences like none other. It pushes your comfort zone, and it really, you know, it really challenges you and makes you a better person. And if you really want to accomplish it, just tell yourself that you're gonna make it. You know, from day 1 when people had asked me where I'm going, I said I'm going to Maine, like I'm going to Katahdin. And you're not gonna look back on life and wish you didn't. So if you want it, go get it. Oh yeah, one more piece of gear. The most important thing I carried on the whole trail. Gotta rock your school colors.